Hey guys, we are in Iowa right now, spending a little time here before we move on to the next leg of our trip. And we thought that we would give you guys some of our favorite places in Door County.
Yeah, we spent 2 months in Door County, Wisconsin, pretty much the whole summer. We got there the 1st of July and we left the end of August and spent 8 full weeks there. And want to just kind of tell you, some of our favorite places that we visited, things that you have to do. And I know we've kind of shared some of this stuff with you in previous videos, but we wanted to kind of combine it all into one kind of greatest hits sort of video. And I'd love to tell you, we're going to give you the top 5, top 6, top 10. I don't know how many there's going to be because we just loved it so much, and we'll figure out at the end how many there is.
Let's start with Canna Island Lighthouse.
Yes, the Canna Island Lighthouse was absolutely incredible. To me, part of the best part of that was getting there, because we actually rode our bikes to Canna Island. It was about 7 miles from our RV park, and we got there, and it was just a magnificent place. It really is.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one that's probably more underrated than, like, you always hear about everything in Door County, and I'm sure on our list we'll hit those ones that everybody talks about. I don't know that everybody talks about the Canna Lighthouse. So, but like Kevin said, I think one of the best parts for you and I was using our e-bikes to get there. So obviously you can drive there and do the whole thing and it'll still be fantastic because it's got gorgeous views. But that drive on your e-bikes, it's on a main road, but it's Country Road Q, which we thought was so fun because, Quinn Q. But that part was amazing because then we got to discover all around it as well. But anyway, it's a beautiful lighthouse. It's on beautiful property.
Yep.
And then the Lake Michigan is so pretty, especially if you want a sunny day. So it just kind of sells itself. Yep.
97 steps up. Enjoy the gorgeous view. 97 steps back down, and I think it was $10 to get in. 12, maybe.
I think it was 12. I think I do remember it was 10 for like seniors and kids.
Yeah, so $12 admission, and it was well worth it. And it's more than just the lighthouse; it's the whole property of the actual island. So it's well worth it.
If you have e-bikes, even bikes might be a little long for you, like with no pedal assist. But if you have e-bikes, I encourage you to take that, because then what we did is we rode around all the neighborhoods and stuff, and it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. So get you out there, and we really enjoyed our time, and we did that several times while we were over in Bailey's Harbor. So
Canna Island Lighthouse, first thing on the list.
In Bailey's Harbor. Okay, big one.
Yep.
Everybody does, right?
Yep.
Washington Island.
Washington, yeah. Washington Island, yes. You got to take the ferry to get over to Washington Island from the northern tip of the mainland of Door County. It's not cheap.
No, it is a little pricey, but I feel like if you're going to Door County and you want to really get the feel of what it's all about, I think that going to Washington Island is a must. It's almost a rite of passage, probably, if you're going to go over and do Door County. You don't have to, but you get that experience. You get on that ferry. It takes you over, what is it?
Probably not even half a mile, I'm thinking.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful, right? Especially if it's a gorgeous day. Obviously, we always say weather permitting. And then there's just so many things to do over on the island. It's so cute and quaint and chill. Everybody's chill on the island, right? Yeah,
they've got hiking trails. They've got a lavender farm. They've got a cool little beach called Schoolhouse Beach, and it's all rocks.
Yeah,
that was in a previous video.
And it's so pretty. And the lake right there is so pretty. The colors that it gives off with those white stones, very gorgeous. There's also a really cool tower that we went up and did. Yeah. That you went up and saw, and which had gorgeous views. And it was not too bad, that hike up. It wasn't like a huge, but it's beautiful. The views that you get from the top of there are just lovely. Nelson's Hall. Yep.
Get the famous Bitters Club.
The Bitters Club, which you can do. They also have really good food.
Yes.
So while you're over there, I'm sure you're going to get hungry. So it's just fun to kind of go over there and explore.
Yeah, and the ferry, they actually charge you one price for the vehicle, and then a price per person that's in your vehicle. It's not just a total.
Mhm.
There was 4 of us plus the vehicle, and it wound up coming out to $88. So however that broke down, I'm not quite sure. I'm sure you can look it up on a website or something. But yeah, the ferry's not cheap, but I think it's well worth it.
I do too. So you got to do it at least once, right?
Oh yeah, because it's one of those places that anytime we told anybody we were in Door County, a lot of our friends' first words out of their mouth is, "Did you go to Washington Island?" So yeah, you have to do that.
And it was a great day. So we're really glad we did it. Okay, number 3. This for us, the old post office.
Yep.
And this is in the town of Ephraim.
Yes.
And it is where we did our fish boil.
Our first fish boil.
Yes. And it was fantastic. This was such a fun experience. So it's the white fish that they catch right there. And it's got such a, there's like an ambiance to it because it's a show that he actually puts on.
There's several different fish boils, shrimp boils. We actually did 2 while we were there.
We did.
But this first one we did is actually the wood fire and the big black kettle and the kerosene, and they throw the kerosene and it goes up. And so the boil master, he's going through and he's giving you the history of it all and everything else. And it is a show. It really is. I mean, they tell you get here 30 minutes before your reservation, then everybody sits outside and in a big circle, and it is a whole production, well worth it in and of itself.
Super organized too.
Yes.
Because when you check in, you get your table number. And so after they do the whole fish boil, you go to your table and immediately they come to your table with your fish, your portions, and they debone it for you and then they serve you. And it's like clockwork, and it is fantastic. And then you sit out. I mean, we sat outside.
Yeah.
Because there's outside and inside sitting. I think most people like the outside. But then you have a beautiful view of the sunset too.
Yeah, right over the lake. Right over the lake. It's
because
gorgeous.
there's like the harbor right there.
Yeah.
So it's very pretty, and it's definitely worth doing. You do need to make reservations because they fill up quick, especially the time. Obviously, when we went.
Yeah.
So anyway, so worth it, and you kind of get the history of the town and how they used to survive and cook food.
Right.
So it's very cool. It's definitely worth doing. Okay, next we're going to give you a couple of our favorite places that we hung out at. I would say, like ate and maybe had a few cocktails.
Yes. First one we're going to talk about is the place called One Barrel, and that's over in Egg Harbor. It's a cool little place, outside patio, huge outside patio, seating. Pretty much they serve pizza, salads, and that kind of stuff. Not a huge menu, but you go up to the counter, you order your pizzas, and then it's all outdoor seating. And they are their own brewery, so they do have a lot of local brews and everything there. And it's just a cool place. They've got some beanbag toss out there. They've got a little playground area off to the side for the kids, and it was just a great place. We went there, probably 2 or 3 times. Great place, pretty reasonably priced. The pizza was really good.
Yeah,
and
the salad
just
was
fun.
good. They have hummus. It's just a great hangout.
Yeah.
So, you have this gorgeous weather, and you just want to be outside, and it totally allots for it. It's all different kinds of seating.
Yep.
And it's just a good vibe. So we did do that several times, and we enjoyed ourselves very much. So it's a good time.
Oh yeah, and then the next place, which pretty much turned into our favorite place to go to, was the Thirsty Cow Tap House.
And that's in Bailey's Harbor.
Yes. And the thing about that is I'd never seen a place like that before. So you walk in and you check in, you give your credit card and everything else, and they give you this bracelet. And the bracelet activates the 24 taps that are on the wall. And it's all a self-serve tap house. They've got a little rack of glasses. You can get small flight glasses. You can get, 10 or 12 ounce glasses. You can get a full pint glass. And you get your own glass, and you can pick whichever beer you want. You just put your bracelet up to it. It turns green, and you pour it from your tap. The way they do it is you pay by the ounce. So the bracelet keeps track of how many ounces of whatever beer you're pouring. So if you only want to do like a little sample of it, you can just pour 1 or 2 ounces and taste it, and you're only going to pay for 1 or 2. So you're not paying for a full drink, and if you don't like it. So it's kind of neat that you could try some samples and everything else. And then you've got a nice little food bar. You go up and you order your food, and they bring it out to you. And they've already got your credit card on file, so you just order what you want, and they bring it out to you. and it automatically goes on your tab, which turned out really nice for us. So we discovered Monday night trivia, which was totally cool. We did that, what, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 3 weeks
We didn't win.
No, we were our own team.
Yeah.
And all these teams that have lots of players won.
Mhm.
So, because they had a lot of input. But it was still fun. It was just
Yes.
fun to go and do. The owner is really nice there, and the staff is super interactive. Just a good vibe again. And there's also a patio that you can go out and, again, has all the games and the different things as well. And they play really good music there, too.
Yeah, and then I guess on the weekends they do a lot of live music because there's a little stage out back. So it's a fun place.
It is fun. It is fun.
Thirsty Cow Tap House.
Yep, in Bailey's Harbor. So our advice, if you have time and you're in Door County, we say visit all of the little towns.
Oh, yeah.
So like Sister Bay, Egg Harbor, Ephraim.
Sturgeon Bay.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And they all have their own little fun things to do and things to see. Our favorite was Fish Creek.
Yes. The thing about Fish Creek is there was a bunch of different things to do there. Fish Creek is the little town where we went on the sunset cruise.
Mm-hmm.
They did it right out of the Fish Creek harbor. We also did the shrimp boil in Fish Creek.
We did.
There's a couple of cool little shops in Fish Creek we went to.
Yeah. I don't know. Fish Creek had a little vibe to it that we really liked. We really enjoyed. And it's probably because our favorite thing in Door County was in Fish Creek.
Yes.
So we were there often, and we really enjoyed being in Fish Creek.
Yeah.
So, but again, my advice is to go see all of them because they all have something to offer, and they do a good job of kind of just, I don't know, being fun and, you know.
And being from where we are, it's amazing that all these little towns are so close.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all these little places were within, what, 10, 12 miles of our RV park? So it was just like you're driving down the road and it says you're in this little town, then all of a sudden you're in another one, then all of a sudden you're in another one. You know, so it's pretty neat to kind of see what's in every town. It seems like every one of them had the little cherry stands and the stores and the farm markets and everything else. So yeah, like Lurica said, just go drive around and check them all out.
It's worth seeing all of them.
Yes.
And then you'll come up with your favorite. So.
Yeah, because we talk about it all the time. Just go explore. Just go drive. You're never going to get lost, especially in Door County. There's 2 highways. There's the 57 and the 42, and they pretty much circle the entire Door County, so you really can't get lost.
Yeah, I think, and speaking about that, just in the different towns too, like you can get on your bike and go explore too. There's the neighborhoods. Oh, so much fun in Door County. Like just going through neighborhoods and different places that were like lined with trees and different. And then the wildflowers. Like we just went and explored. Sometimes it wasn't even in the middle of a town. So go out and explore your surroundings, and you'll find little treasures here and there. Trust me.
So I'm sure by watching a lot of our other videos over the last several weeks, you can probably guess our favorite place in all of Door County was Peninsula State Park.
Which is in Fish Creek.
Yes.
Also one of the reasons we loved Fish Creek, because we just got very familiar with it.
Yes. We probably, the last 3 weeks, we were probably at Peninsula State Park almost every day, either hiking or bike riding, or even just driving around and checking out the whole park. I mean, there's so much to do in the park. I mean, we did a lot of bike riding.
And we kind of discovered the bike trail later.
Yes.
So at first it was just more the hiking and the seeing, like they have that big Eagle Tower, which they built, which is beautiful with a gorgeous view. And so I had seen some people down by the lighthouse. They have a lighthouse, which I'm sure we put in there too. I had seen some people down by the lighthouse that had bikes.
All right. Another beautiful day here at Peninsula State Park.
Yes, we are back.
The last time we were here, we noticed they had some bike-specific trails. So we're gonna go, and we just parked here at the lighthouse and pulled the bikes out of the truck, and we are going to take this bike trail all around Peninsula State Park and see what it's all about.
Yeah, there's a 9.5 mile bike loop called the Sunset Bike Trail.
Yeah.
And we just had a blast. We were doing that 2-3 times a day. We do a loop, go back, have lunch, go back, do another loop, go back, take a break. So yeah, we were doing that a few times a day at certain points.
Yeah. It's just, it offers so much of you're hands-on. When you're on your bike, you get so much more. A lot of the bike trail is just a bike trail. People can walk it too, but there also are lots of different hikes throughout the park. So, but you do kind of, it is primarily a bike route. Some of it goes off onto the main road. So a lot of people will drive through Peninsula State Park and take in the park that way. And I think it's amazing. But
I think we did that the first couple times.
Yeah, just kind of getting our bearings and learning where we were at. But then if you have the opportunity to do the bike trail and get out and be in the elements, it's just amazing. You're on sensory overload as far as I'm concerned, because you're getting the best of all of it. I feel like anything is better, for me at least, on the bike or hiking it versus being in the car. You just get so much more from it.
The
Gorgeous
sounds,
views.
the smells, everything.
All of it. It's just gorgeous, and it's refreshing. It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
It just I would just be like, I'm feeling like a little bit in a rut. We'd go do a bike ride or a hike. Like I remember the one day we did the bike trail. I think we did it 3 times.
Yes.
We're like, we're not ready to go back to the campground.
Well, this was also our last day in the park. We were leaving the next day.
We were leaving. That is true. But we still were like, we don't want to go back to the campground right now. So I'm like, let's go hike. Let's go do the Eagle Loop again. And he's like, really? Because we had already ridden about 30 miles. And I was like, well, let's just see how we feel when we drive by. And sure enough, we did. And at the end, we both were like, we're so glad we did. Because even though we're riding our bike that long, it is an e-bike. So we do have assistance, obviously. It just felt good to move. And you just refresh. You get the water, you get the trees, you get it all. So we can't say enough about Peninsula State Park. Chances are, too, if you do the bike trail, you will see some wildlife at some point. So several times we saw deer. I think on our last day there, we saw a fawn and the mom. There was 2 fawns actually and a mom. And then you saw a real big one.
I saw a real big deer, and when I hit the brakes to stop,
it squeaked.
The brake squeaked and it took off. So
but there is wildlife in there, and it's just, I don't know, it's just fantastic. We enjoyed so much of that, and it's definitely something we will do again.
Yeah, they've also got a beach at the park. They do have boats and kayaking and boat launches. They do have a huge campground. It's just amazing things to do inside this enormous park. And I think I'm safe to say that so far in our travels, it is our favorite state park that we've seen so far.
I would too. Now, we haven't been to a million state parks, but by far, at this point, it's our favorite state park that we've ever been to. If you have gone to any of these places we've talked about and you've enjoyed it, leave us a comment. Let us know. Or if you have something that is your favorite in Door County that maybe we missed or we didn't talk about, or in our, because we would love to know that too. I think I just got bit. Sorry.
So do us a favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell and, subscribe to our channel. We really hope that you enjoyed our kind of review and finalization of our 2 months in Door County and where we going next. Tune in next week and you'll find out.